You are listening to Zari Ballard's When Love is Alive video podcast, episode 2. Today we're talking about married narcissists and the tactics they use to play their victims. So let's get started. Hey everybody, Zari Ballard here. Welcome to my When Love is Alive video podcast series where we discuss anything and everything having to do with narcissism in relationships. If this is your first time listening, thanks for coming. The When Love is Alive podcast is produced twice a week for your enjoyment, and show notes can be found at my blog, thenarcissisticpersonality.com. Come back often and feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter at Zari Ballard and soon to be Facebook. All links to blog, books, and social media will be listed in the show notes. Now let's get into the show. Hi everybody, today we're talking about how the married narcissist plays his victims. I'm going to read an article from my blog. And feel free to comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. I know there's a lot of you out there that are married, that are having, affairs or relationships with married narcissists. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you're being played right now. So how the married narcissist plays his victims. The narcissist who is married is probably the most prolific of all the other narcissists because of the game he has ultimately chosen to play. Indeed, the married narcissist can live in suburbia with the wife and kids, and at the same time carry on one or more relationships outside of the marriage without appearing the least bit stressed about it. His abilities to lie on the fly to convince all partners, including the spouse, that his intentions are always on the up and up, and to be seemingly in two places at once, are unsurpassed and put him at a pathological level above the typical narcissist. Now, through my phone conversations and correspondence with both women and men, I've been able to make the following observations. 1. A married narcissist will typically, but not always, be an online predator, so that he can keep the extramarital affairs long distance. He will have profiles on numerous dating sites that give his relationship status as either divorced or separated, when he obviously is neither. Number 2, a married narcissist typically, but not always, will be a high-level narcissist, meaning that he is a narcissist with a good job and usually a good deal of money. At the very least, he's self-sufficient. I call this the 5-star deception. Having money makes it much easier for the narcissist to carry on multiple affairs, or one that's long-term without tipping off the wife. He may have a job that requires that he often travel out of town, or even out of the country, on a regular basis. Having money also means he can quickly book vacations or send flowers and or extravagant gifts to appease the lover, should she become disenchanted with the narcissist's mind-boggling and hurtful behaviors. He may even play the most devious version of the cell phone game and have 2 phones, one for each of his deceitful lives. Number 3. A married narcissist always love bombs his target more intensely than the typical narcissist, simply because he's under more of a time constraint. The sooner he hooks her, the less chance that finding out he's still married will cause her to leave the relationship. Like any other narcissist, the end game is always to get away with the ruse, any ruse, for as long as he possibly can. Some women have been involved with married narcissists as the mistress for as long or nearly as long as the narcissist has been married. Number 4. The target of a married narcissist may not initially suspect that this new guy is married because of his ability to spend so much time with her. After all, how can a guy be married and still be able to hop on the next plane out at the drop of a hat? Or how can he be married if he's able to take off for a week to the Caribbean without appearing the least bit stressed? Or how can he be married if we're always on the phone together? I hear it all the time. Because the narcissist compartmentalizes every aspect of his pathetic life, he can be completely stress-free with whomever he's with. You got to understand that this is key to why he can behave the way he does when he's a married narc, and why you don't know about it, or you can't figure it out, or you're not quite sure, or you want to believe what he's telling you, that he's getting a divorce and all this, he's not stressed. Okay, he can compartmentalize the whole thing. Okay, and that's how you get hooked into the game. Number 5. A narcissist marries for many reasons, but the biggest reasons are that being married to a wonderful woman is good for appearances, and it makes him feel for a second as if he's actually a normal guy. The novelty wears off, however, and quick. That being said, the narcissist is rarely willing to give the marriage up because he feels justified in having both. After all, if all it takes to keep the ruse afloat on either side is to tell a few lies, well, shit, that's easy. Don't ever forget, a narcissist's entire life is all about what he or she can get away with day to day. When the long-term already hooked mistress/target finds out about the marriage, and she always does, the narc will likely explain that he was just in the process of filing for divorce when they met, but the affair just distracted him. Now that she knows, he'll get right on that. He'll spew his narcissistic word garbage, insisting that the marriage is one of convenience only. We haven't slept together in years. And that his wife is a psycho who cheats on him, and he's been working with a lawyer to make sure she doesn't take him for a ride. The truth is that the wife is living the same life as the mistress. A life full of suspicions, silent treatments, and some incredible but obviously believable future faking. If the narcissist is especially pathological, he may even, just for fun, deliberately triangulate one woman with the other. What I find particularly distressing are the stories where the married narc actually convinces a long-distance lover to move to the city or country where he lives under the premise that a divorce is imminent, which it never is, or that he's already divorced, or that he's now separated. The truth is that the wife has probably caught on, or at the very least suspects there's a lover, and the move for the mistress, for the narc, is for convenience only because he can no longer just hop on a plane. I've heard from countless women who've moved clear across country and even across continents at the narcissist's request, only to be given the silent treatment immediately upon arrival. A married narcissist will even deliberately target a married woman, convincing her to leave her husband for the new relationship, and then disappearing himself soon after. Interestingly enough, 99.99% of the women that write to me who are involved with the married narc adamantly insist that they never, not in a million years, would have ever thought they'd be involved with a married man or cheat on their husbands if they're married. It simply wasn't part of their nature. Moreover, in as much as it causes them heartache to know that she exists, not a single one that I've ever spoken with has ever really bashed the wife. Why? Because deep down, anyone involved with a narc knows that this guy is a fucking liar, wherever he goes and to whomever he's with at the moment. Typically, whether you experience the relationship as a wife or as a mistress, you eventually come to understand that the other woman is just like you. So for those who wonder why a mistress or wife continues to stay with the narcissist knowing what she knows, if she knows, the answer is that the narcissist is the same person to everybody, especially to his partners. He lies with the same believability and makes the same promises and will insist to one that the other is a psycho, that he just can't seem to get rid of. And it goes on and on. Both the wife and the lover are victims. And in both cases, the victim wants to believe that this person that they love is telling the truth. It's a codependency to hope that will get us in trouble almost every time. Now, to be clear, what I'm talking about here is not about the married partner who has been monogamous for 10 years and then fucks up and is sorry for it. I don't condone that kind of behavior, but it does happen. Okay, it's like not every cheater is a narcissist, but every narcissist is a cheater. Keep that in your mind, okay? I have to make clear that there's a difference there. This isn't just some guy who messed up, and it's not that. As we all know, narcissism isn't about just one single behavior. It's about many, many behaviors. We come to recognize these behaviors as narcissistic tactics. And this is why those who suspect that their lover or husband is a narcissist are always right. If he is with you, you can guarantee that there is some woman somewhere getting the silent treatment. The married narcissist is very good at what he does, or he wouldn't be a narcissist or a married one. You got to understand, brothers and sisters, that to be with a married narc is not sustainable. And when it comes right at the end of the day, you want something that's sustainable. You can love something, you can even miss something when it's gone, but if it's not sustainable, you just can't be with it. And that's where you got to change to the logic of it. You got to look at it logically. Okay? If it's not going to work, if you can't look into the future and see you two together. I talk to women that have been dragged on for years, okay, with a married narc. Still believing that they don't sleep together, him and his wife, they don't sleep together. And then they go on vacations, but they're just like, it's just a business arrangement or whatever it is he's telling her. But they get to a point where they just want to believe it no matter what. And the years go on and on. It's not good. You got to know it's not normal. He's not leaving his wife. Okay. He's just not going to do it. So you can stay in it as the mistress, but that's all you're ever really going to be. And she's really not, her role, they're married, they might have kids, they've got a house together, a life together. Many times there's family and friends that you're never going to fit in with that, okay? He just wants to see what he can get away with. And if what we allow will continue. So think about that. If you're involved with a married narc, how many times has he told you that he's working on the divorce? He's in the middle of a divorce. He filed for a divorce. She's holding it up. She has to get a lawyer. He's got to get a new lawyer. Half the time I ask, did you see the papers? Because a lot of times there aren't any papers. And even if there are, they can fake papers. They'll do whatever they need to do to keep you on the hook. Okay? And he can go home to his wife and he's not going to be stressed. And while he's at home with his wife, he's not going to be, he may even be calling you. See, this is the thing. They can do it all. They can sometimes they have two phones, or they can be on the phone with you all night long. And this makes it appear that they don't have a relationship with the wife, but they do. Okay? And they're not about to leave the wife and whatever appearance or whatever scene he's created or whatever life he's created, or maybe they've got a really good life. Maybe they've got money. Maybe they've got a nice house. Maybe they've got cool kids. I don't know. But he's not leaving it. So unless she leaves him, you're always going to be the mistress. That's pretty much the way it works. So think about it. Understand that you deserve better. Okay? You don't have to live like that. And all you're going to be doing is just wasting your time. So be confident in the truth that you know and get a game plan to get out. And if you need to, call me. You can connect with me on the narcissisticpersonality.com. I do phone consultations. I do email counseling. Get going. Get on with it so you can get out and be happy. Okay, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you liked what you heard, be sure to share it with your friends on your forums and Facebook pages, Pinterest, wherever you got, Twitter. Be sure to connect with me on Twitter and soon on Facebook, okay? And at my website, thenarcissisticpersonality.com. My books are on Amazon, available in paperback and Kindle download, on iTunes and Barnes & Nobles. See you next time. This is Zari Ballard, and this was the When Love is Alive video podcast. Thank you.